I'm Drew, and over the last 9 months, my team has thought about this vision we had for a game. It was a game where crazed engineers and mad scientists would wage an epic war across an archipelago of floating islands. We thought, what if those crazed engineers were to take a Tesla coil and put it on a robot unicycle and use it like a band of roving bug zappers? And what if those mad scientists had somehow put a rocket launcher into a tortoise's shell to use to rain down destruction on their enemies? And what if we, as students, were able to package all of that up into an awesome game that played just like all those other games that we love in our favorite multiplayer genres, where we could sit at our computer and play with our friends across the country or across the state? USC Games has afforded me and my team the ability to make this vision a reality. So let's take a look. This is the Maestros, a fast-paced, action-packed, team-oriented strategy game where you can transform your armies on the fly to fit the ever-changing landscape of war. And to tell you how to play, here's our lead designer, James Corcoran.
Thanks, Drew. So when designing this game, we want to create an RTS experience which was easy to pick up and play with friends, and thus the rules of the game are very simple. When playing the game, your main objective is to kill an enemy commander, or kill all enemy commanders, using the various tools at your disposal. At the beginning of the game, you will spawn with doughboys if you are the Titonians, the crazed engineers, or rambams if you are the alchemists, the mad scientists. You can transform these starting minions around the map into different minions with different uses in battle. And each minion has a unique game-changing ability, such as dropping down from the sky or igniting an oil splotch on fire. And if you ever need to replenish your army, you can do so by killing neutral monsters around the map. As you can see, after I kill this neutral monster, it'll give me 2 more doughboys. So, we have a special treat for you today. Little did you know that when you signed up for Demo Day, you would get to see the first ever World Championship Maestros match. The teams have been practicing all year for this, and here to introduce them is Brian Choi.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Los Angeles, California, to the Norris Theater Arena. Today is Judgment Day. Today we determine who is the international champion team of the Maestros 3v3 Ladder League Tournament. In the red corner, weighing in at a collective weight of 189.5 kilograms, this team has beaten all of North America's best and brightest, and finally got their athlete visas last week. Led by the fierce and delicious John Canellis from Puerto Rico, I give you the Alchemists of Regalis! In the blue corner, led by the salty pepper Mint Tech, this team proves it's not about how fast you can click, but how your team operates like a well-oiled machine. Hailing all the way from Burma with an additive GPA of 4.65 and fresh off their win over the North Korean national team, I give you the Knights of Teutonia! I give you our stallions, Calvin and Graham!
Hey everybody, thanks for joining us. We've been pouring our hearts and souls into this game, and we're so excited to show you the world's first Maestros World Championship. So to kick off, we'll start about the game mode you're going to be watching. Now, it is a round-based game mode, so let's talk about what that means, Calvin.
Yeah, so in round-based, basically each team starts with their 3 commanders, and once a commander dies, they stay dead until the end of the round. The round winner is determined by whoever doesn't have all of their commanders dead, so it's just like a round of Counter-Strike.
Yeah, so in this case, we're looking at a first to 3 or best of 5 matchup. So anytime we're ready, we'll hop into the game and get started. We'll talk about, once we get in game, we'll talk about how it usually starts out with you going to farm up your neutral units, build up your army, and be ready to morph into more complex units so you can really take the fight to your foe. So let's talk about what's going on here, Colin.
Yeah, so in the upper right-hand corner here, we can see the red alchemists are farming those neutrals, getting those not doughboys, what am I talking about? Getting those rambams up, which will allow them to get a larger army and be more ready to fight when the time comes.
Yeah, now we can see the Teutonian players are already starting to transform their units. So Teutonians do this by walking up to these transform points on the map, each of which corresponds to a unique unit, or well, there are multiples, but it corresponds to a complex unit that has a special ability and usually brings something powerful to the fray. Now, it does work a little differently for the alchemists, so I'll let you speak to that, Calvin.
Yeah, so instead of pushing their rambams into the transform points, the alchemists farm up potions with their commanders, and they can use those potions, throw them onto their rambams at any time after that to turn them into special units, which can be used on the fly in order to transform your entire army into something, if you have good intelligence on your opponent, to counter what they're running.
Now, I think we're going to see some quick aggression coming out on the bottom part of the map, which is usually important because of the transform points, the proximity to the map objectives, and just the kind of neutral-rich nature of the area. So.
Yeah, here we can see a good surround coming in from John with his grapplers, trying to cut off the Min and Taylor. However, Min and Taylor are just turning on Conrad, who's using that teleport ability.
Great use of the teleport ability from Conrad, but he is caught out. He's getting bursted down. Whiff on the Robomeister nuke, but it's still enough to bring down Conrad, and the Skybreaker burst damage is just too much for Ali.
Yeah, and now Ali, he's just out of position, and Teutonian is taking a pretty solid game 1 there.
That was a very convincing performance from the Teutonian team. A quick round by our normal standards. So, go ahead, Colin.
Yeah, the Teutonian team just showed a really great teamwork there. Kept their team clumped together, whereas the Alchemists split up and managed to just get picked off one by one. Teamwork is really, really important in the Maestros, and making sure that you're alongside your team when it comes to battles is going to be what's deciding the winner.
So part of teamwork is really controlling the map and taking advantage of the transform points, the neutrals, and our other 2 objectives on the map. One of which is the brute you're seeing here, or the dread beast, if you want to call it that. So the dread beast is interesting in that fighting it and damaging it, while it's a tough fight, it'll bring it around and join your side for a limited time. So if you can sneak it on the map, as the Alchemist team is managing to do, as you'll see, the Teutonian team is really out of position to stop this, kind of letting their intel lapse. Now they have this powerful creature on their team, and they're probably going to take the fight to the Teutonians immediately with this newfound advantage.
Yeah, and we can see here 2 Teutonian commanders trying to engage on the Dread Beast. However, it's 2 versus 3 as is, and they have the Dread Beast, so they're going to get mopped up pretty quickly here as we see the Disruptors coming in with their poison trail, allowing them to dash in.
So we see a lot of abilities. Why don't you talk to some of the combos and synergies we see in abilities, Colin?
Yeah, so we can see Taylor is making good use of the Oiler's Tar Splashes here, which will allow him to slow down some of his opponents. However, he's getting chased down by Ali's use of the dash ability in order to catch up to both him and Alex and take out their commanders.
Yeah, so this is turning into another pretty quick round here with a big melee happening in the bottom left, and it's coming down to these alchemists to really give it to the Teutonians, and looks like they're going to take round 2 for themselves. Convincing performance from the Dread Beast team.
Yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, each unit has its own special ability, so the Oiler could drop down the Tar Splash to slow down any enemy units that walked into it, or they could then take that Tar Splash and by throwing another one on top of it, light it on fire, which would damage all enemies inside of it. So by using these abilities, you can take out enemy armies and zone out your opponents to prevent them from, say, walking across a bridge.
There are some other pretty high-impact abilities in the game, some of which are skill shots, some of which are more support abilities and targeted. Anyway, one of those you're looking at right now. So this is a pretty risky, high-risk, high-reward strategy coming out from Taylor, and it's a conductor blob. Now, conductors are the aforementioned unicycle Tesla coils, and if you can position them right and micro properly, you can take out an enemy commander instantly with almost no warning. It's a tricky thing to do, but if you hide in bushes, it can go pretty well. Oh, here comes unsuspecting Ali. He might get baited into this. Oh,
Conductor's
almost taking
doing
them down.
massive
Second round finishes it. This is putting the Teutonian team in a pretty good position as they're up 2 people. And uh-oh, here comes the Alchemist, so to exact vengeance for Ellie's death.
Yeah, Alchemist coming in here trying to get a quick pick-off on the Teutonian commander to turn this around since they lost one of their commanders so quickly themselves, and they do manage to take one out.
Yeah, so this is probably a good time to bring up another map objective we have, and that's this large building you're seeing here. So this is called the Shrine. Now the Shrine was introduced by designers as a way to kind of prevent rounds from going too long. And what happens is a tug-of-war mechanic on the health, where if the blue team damages it, the bar shifts that way, and if the red team damages it, it shifts the other way. Whoever destroys the shrine instantly wins the round. So we're seeing some pretty big combos coming out for these rocket turtles. Let's talk about what's going on, Calvin.
Yeah, so the rocket turtles can launch out some rockets and deal a lot of area of effect damage if they're not dodged. However, in this case, it seems as though the Alchemists have lost pretty much all of their units. Teutonians kind of just going to ignore this last Alchemist commander and take the shrine, ending the round and preventing endless chases.
So John's giving a valiant effort. He's going to go try and regroup, but he just doesn't have time. The Teutonian's going to finish off the shrine, and that'll bring a close to the 3rd round. Here we go.
The enemy has destroyed the shrine.
So, let's talk about the status of the game, Calvin.
All right, well, right now Teutonians are up 2-1. It's best of 3, so first, or not best of 3, best of 5, first to 3. If the Teutonians win another round, then they win the round. Why don't you talk about the Alchemist unit abilities, Graham?
Sure, so the Alchemists also have obviously a full suite of pretty destructive abilities, and so we're having a little trouble with the round-based game mode. But anyway, so they can also transform their units, as we spoke about earlier, and a lot of them have powerful area denial abilities. So the Disruptor will leave a very highly damaging trail of kind of poisonous goo or gas behind it. The Vine Crawler can open up a wall and shut off bridges, which can cut off retreat, or make room for you to retreat from an impending doom. But anyway, you can see the Rocket Turtle Shrine being morphed here.
Yeah, and you can see Rocket Turtles, their area of effect damage being massive, trying to take down a huge number of doughboys there on Min's side.
Ooh. And John's stepping on all those mines, which are very, very wisely placed.
Yeah, another volley of rockets just coming in, absolutely decimating John's doughboys. However, he does have backup here, and John is just getting massively dumped by these, massively dumped.
The combo of the area of effect, CC, and all that. Oh, and we're having a little bake-off here. But instead of burning good ideas, we're burning Alchemist units. Anyway, big Robo-Meister Duke coming out, and this is pretty much a mosh pit of a fight, but I believe the Alchemists are getting the short end of the stick on this one.
Although Alex does need to watch his commander, this is a time when Alex could be using his units to take out the enemies and then just run his commander away.
Big time warp from Alex, trying to buy time for his commander. Sick move. And here come the Doughboys, adding in the damage. And it looks like the Teutonians are on the cusp of taking this championship.
Yeah, Alex having some good micro, running his commander around there at low health, allowing his units to do the work for him, taking out the enemy units that were trying to kill his commander, and taking out Conrad's commander in the process.
Great teamwork from the Teutonian team. Here you'll see our score page. Let's give a congratulatory round of applause for the Icy Teutonians.
Our new world champions.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks so much for joining us, guys, in this riveting grand finals. And to wrap it up, I'll hand it off to our fearless team lead, Drew.
Thank you guys. I hope we lived up to the promise we made about an action-packed strategy game. What did you guys think? So true to our other goal for this game, I have one last announcement to make about our project before we bring up the team, the people whose blood, sweat, tears, and shoulders and backs this game was built on. And that's that everything you saw here today, everything that you'll see in the gallery today, will be available to the public on Tuesday, May 20th. It's about 5 days away or so. And I would love for you guys to go download the game and please, please play with us. So without further ado, Maestro's team, please come on up.